First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this?
Shit, if this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potato.
Shit everywhere.
My house is full of shit! He shit everywhere! Look what he did, he shit all!
Internet.
The Shit on the Internet podcast.
It was unbelievably painful.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest. Turn the music up in the headphones. Tim, you can go and brush your shoulders off, nigga. I got you. Yeah, if you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go and brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go and brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you, kid. That, turn up your shoulders. I'm probably over to y'all.
Welcome back, guys, to the Shit on the Internet podcast. I'm your host, George Oliver. Welcome back, indeed. It's been a minute. Took a little bit of a break there for the holidays. Unintentional, I think. But I'm back now, and hopefully you guys are still listening. Hopefully you guys had a good holiday season. I had a great Christmas. Spent some time with my daughter. Always makes things extra special. New Year's, pretty quiet. Hung out at home. Missed the ball drop because I was watching something on the History Channel. I changed the channel. I forgot about how close the time was, and I happened to look at my phone, and it was midnight, and I didn't really care. I went to bed shortly after. Just a sign that I'm old as fuck. But how about you guys? Hopefully you had a good New Year's, safe New Year's. Everybody made it home, enjoyed themselves responsibly. Since then, it's been a slow start to the new year. Thought about doing a podcast on New Year's. I wound up doing something else. That didn't happen. And then I just became disinterested once the evening arrived. I made this podcast as all the other ones. I think I recorded like half of one, and I didn't like it. And I was like, fuck this. I'll come back and I'll do it better. It was nothing special. A bunch of useless stories, honestly, things that I thought were interesting, but then in hindsight, maybe they were not as interesting as I thought. We'll talk about some of them anyway, but I'm probably going to leave some of them out just because looking back on them, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Being, relatively new into the year, I didn't really make any resolutions. I feel like it's unnecessary. Just try to be a good person. I guess if I had a resolution, and maybe be more patient with certain people. Eat better. Man, I talked about that keto diet. I fell off that wagon there for a minute and started eating bread again, stuff like that. It's hard to avoid that shit. Like, in my industry, I mean, yeah, you could eat like one or two things every night, which for a second there I was just only eating one or two things. I guess just try to eat better. That's what I want to do. Snow was here for a while. It was cold as shit there for like a couple weeks. Several days with negative double-digit wind chills. Finally got a escape from that one day yesterday. Today's Friday, January 12th, I believe. We had one day without any snow on the ground anymore. That was yesterday. Then it rained. Then it freezing rained, and now there's fucking snow again. And we're supposed to get a lot this weekend. Some people are saying, I don't know. I should probably check that out because it will affect my choices for work transportation. But that's here nor there. What else has been going on, guys? It's been a minute since I've been here. I apologize. I dropped the ball. What can I say? I've been wanting to do it, but I just haven't felt the compulsion to make it happen. What's been going on since then? This has been out in the news for probably several weeks now, but I've yet to mention it on my podcast. And people who know me know that I love to hate on Apple. I really don't hate Apple, but I hate on the Apple status. They're deliberately slowing down their older iPhones with old batteries. People have been speculating that for a minute, that they made their phones what is the word I want to say besides obsolescence, but it was like forced obsolescence, given degrading performance characteristics and whatnot for the phone. So some guy was running benchmarks and figured out that they were actually throttling their devices that had older batteries. They did this not for forced obsolescence, but because they were having problems with their phone shutting off, because peak battery draw would like spike it too much and the battery couldn't handle it, so it just shut down. So Apple went back through their software updates and set parameters, I guess, that if your battery wasn't putting out a certain voltage, then it would throttle peak performance. Like 9 times out of 10, it really doesn't matter. But if you were like, I guess, multitasking the shit out of your phone or whatever, maybe it would slow it down. Anyway, this confirms something that I used to say, that Apple slows down their phones, but it's not forced obsolescence. It's actually to help your phone. They are offering battery replacement. It was $80, but I guess they dropped it to like $29. You take your phone to Apple Care or whatever it is, and they'll change it for $29, give you a new battery. Fuck Apple. Like, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I am a little jealous. I would probably take a newer iPhone if it were given to me. I like my Android, but iPhone is smooth. It works. I just think a lot of people use it as a status symbol. But hey, that's why we live in America. We can make choices. What else do we want to talk about? Amazon Key. So, yeah, they have this thing. You buy these smart locks, and you can let Amazon deliver packages inside your house when nobody's home. Fuck that, guys. It's run off an app. The smart lock uses the internet, and Amazon will unlock it for like a real limited window when the person says they're there to deliver the package. And there's a camera that comes with it, and you aim the camera at the door, and the camera only records in that limited window of the time of the lock being unlocked. And so it's supposed to keep them honest. Man, fuck all that. Like, yeah, don't let strangers in your house. Don't let the internet control your door locks. Come on, people. Common sense. I love technology as much as the next guy, but be patient or have them drop your package elsewhere or something. I don't know, but don't let strangers in your house. That's just silly. That's so silly. Elon Musk doing big things, launching big-ass rockets again. I had a stupid-ass clickbait headline that I wanted to hate on when I wrote my original notes for this show. Like, it was supposed to be on New Year's. The clickbait headline was UFO invasion in California was nuclear alien sent by North Korea, claims Elon Musk. Yeah, that was a mouthful. But it's silly because they attributed such a ridiculous quote to Elon Musk. It obviously pulled people in. But anybody, I guess not anybody, because people who live in California got in car wrecks and shit when he launched that rocket. Because they thought they were getting attacked by North Korea. It's silly. It really is silly. People like wrecked into each other because they stopped. Somebody stopped short in front of them. It was in fact a rocket that we launched, or Elon Musk launched from the Air Force Base in California, testing his big ass rockets. He's going to send shit to Mars. He's going to send a Tesla to Mars, I believe, is what I heard. That would be fascinating. I wonder, I mean, solar panels, I guess. How's he going to recharge it? All that nonsense. That's just a hubris man there. And he's a fucking genius, so whatever. At least he does mostly good, I think. He also built the largest battery factory ever in the world, and I forget how many people he employed with that, but it's a lot. So, Elon Musk is a good guy. And he has fascinating opinions about the future of artificial intelligence and that we should be scared of it. And I'm not like that far where I'm like we should be scared of it, but I think people underestimate how quickly it's going to progress when they actually have a workable model, like a truly general artificial intelligence. I think people don't understand how fast it's gonna improve itself. Sorry, nerding out there a little bit. Other shit I had in my notes, Aaron Rodgers. I had Aaron Rodgers. So a bunch of teams were mad. This is old news now, but a bunch of teams were mad because the Packers put Aaron Rodgers back on injured reserve after he played one game and they were eliminated from the playoffs. They put him back on IR. And it opened up a roster spot for them, and a bunch of teams evidently were pissed off because you can't put a guy back on IR for the same injury. It has to be a new injury or something, and they didn't list a new injury and blah, blah, blah. And according to the rules, the Packers are supposed to release Aaron Rodgers to the waiver wire upon returning from the injured reserve list. That's never going to happen, guys. If you know anything about football, you know Aaron Rodgers is a pretty phenomenal fucking quarterback. And there's no way on earth that the NFL is going to make the Green Bay Packers release him. That would just be silly. That'd be akin to telling New England that they have to release Tom Brady. Even if it was for real on the rule book, they would never do it. It'd never fucking happen. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers, folks. Football is progressing. I didn't watch the playoffs last week, but I do know Tennessee Titans came back and beat Kansas City. Colts probably should have been there. I'm kidding. I cannot wait to see what's going on with the Colts. They're about to sign a new head coach. A bunch of candidates have interviewed. We got a high draft pick, guys. They got the number 3 draft pick, and rumor has it the first two, being the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants, are both going to take quarterbacks, which leaves the best running back in the country, Saquon Barkley from Penn State, available at number 3, but also the best defensive player in the draft is going to be available. I believe his name is Bradley Chubb, and I think he plays at South Carolina. He's an edge rusher. He's a phenomenal player as well. But, man, I'm super duper hoping that they take Saquon Barkley if he's there. That dude is going to be really good, I believe. It should be interesting. I wish the draft would get here already. I wish baseball was playing now, too, because that would mean it's spring and warm, and this snow shit wouldn't be on the ground. I'll try to move away from sports. Also, another reason why I haven't put this podcast out, and I mentioned it before, how I wanted to get some Ripple, some XRP, which is a cryptocurrency that I had mentioned briefly before. And man, I was getting scared because I knew about it and I didn't have the money to invest in it, and I just kept doubling up and doubling up. And for a second there, like when I first talked about it on here, I think 88 cents. And then for a second, it went up to like $3.80. And I'm just like, oh man, like what is happening? And luckily for me, it had a pullback and it went down. I got it at $2.44 or 46 cents, maybe. I don't know. I sold some property of mine and got a decent chunk of money, and I put it in there. And right after I bought it at like 246, like there were a few hours where it traded at like $1.50. But nobody knew it was going to drop like that because there was some fake news announcements and shit, and people got scared and started wanting to dump their stuff, which for people who are really in the know were happy because they bought all that extra ripple up cheap again, knowing that it's going to go up. And of course, it traded for like a couple days, like at under $2. They announced a partnership with MoneyGram, and they've already, I think, announced their partnership with American Express. So I mean, they're legitimate, and it's just going to keep going up. I'm glad I got it for under $3, but I would have loved to have waited a little longer had I known that it was going to keep dropping and get it at like $1.50. Nonetheless, projected to hit $10 maybe this year, and so I mean that's 4 times, give or take, a little more than 4 times of what I got it at. We'll see. XRP, guys, look at it. Another one is XLM. It's lumens, Foster lumens, I think. I don't know. That's gonna be what I'm looking at right now. It's like 58 cents, might be 67 cents today, but they are really poised to go to like $3 or $4 at least, probably higher than that. So you get in on that at like 50 cents and it goes to $8. You guys do the math. That's a lot of percentage increase. Not a whole lot else going on in my world, guys. I fucking went to work yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday. I had worked most of the rest of this week. And I'm like, oh, I had released my shift. We can release shifts and other servers can pick them up through the interwebs. But 3 o'clock comes and I need to leave to go to work. I work at 4:45, but I leave at about 3:15 to go catch the bus and go to work. So I check before I leave to see if anybody picked up my shift. Nobody picked it up. I walk to the bus. I wait on the bus. I take the bus to work. I get to work. I walk in. I look to see where my section is. And my fucking name isn't on the floor chart. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Here comes my manager, Holly, and she's like, hey. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, oh, I thought somebody told you. And I was like, told me what? She's like, I approved your shift. Somebody picked up your shift. I said, when? She's like, probably like 3:45. I'm like, I already left the house to come to work. Like, what the fuck is that all about? So, long story short, I go to work. I didn't have to work. I convinced Holly that she should buy me some dinner since I came to work and then ultimately didn't have to work. And she was so kind and obliged me that. And so I had some really good grilled chicken wings, some celery, and I had a couple $3 beers. We had the $3 20-ounce special last night. Walked home. It was approximately 5 miles. It was a good walk, though. The shitty part was 3/4 of the way home, it started raining. And I hadn't anticipated rain, nor had I really thought I was going to walk home. It was just a spur of the moment. I'm like, fuck it. Like, it was nice enough out that I didn't mind it. But, yeah, 3/4 of the way home, it starts raining. And I'm just like, come on. So, got a little wet. Went next door for a little bit. Played some euchre with my buddy Fetch. Shout out to Fetch, Zoe, and Kelly. It was a good game last night. We ended up coming back and winning. Zoe and I, anyway. A lot of you guys are probably like, what the fuck is he talking about? Euchre, guys. Look it up. It's a fun game. I never learned it until I moved to Indiana. It is, I think, an Indiana, Michigan type shit. Maybe Ohio. I don't really know. Popular around here, though. I feel like this might be a short episode, but I had to make one at some point. Like, I felt like I was slacking hard. I want to see if there was other stuff. Oh, yeah, there was. You guys want to keep going? I want to keep going. We'll keep going. I had a note about Russian man dies from blood loss due to VR-related accident. This shit is crazy. This guy was playing virtual reality VR for you nerds like me. But he was playing some game, I guess, and he tripped over a fucking glass table. Like, he fell through his glass table and cut himself so badly that he bled to death. What a shitty way to die. And then, how do you not know you got a big fucking glass table there? Like, maybe you should move that stuff? I'm not trying to be insensitive. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but you could have planned better, bro. And then you wouldn't be dead while you're playing your awesome VR game. They don't know if he was drunk or not, or they haven't said anything about that, but they just said he died because he bled out. Video games are dangerous, folks. I have a list of hashtag dumb shit. Paris Hilton put a nightclub in her home. Like, this was news or something, or it was relevant on Twitter. Paris Hilton put a nightclub in her house. Why do we even still talk about her? Like, I don't get it. She had her 15 minutes. She does nothing. Literally not. I don't know what she does. What's her contribution to society? I don't know. Said there was a stripper pole in this nightclub. Of course there's a stripper pole. It's Paris fucking Hilton. She's a stripper. She has sex on camera. And which is nothing wrong with that. But, like, she got famous for that. Okay, give me a fucking break. I really want to hate her. Like, here's my deal, because I don't want to just be a hater. I want to hate her because she got famous, you know, for pretend. I don't think she's probably as stupid as she acted, but pretending to be stupid on, what's that show? The Simple Life? She got famous for that, for being dumb, and then for fucking Rick Solomon, like, on camera. Thank you, Rick Solomon, for the use of night vision and helping a lot of guys figure that out on their video cameras as well. But I really can't hate her because she figured out, she was like one of the first people to figure out how to get rich by doing nothing and just acting how people expect you to act, I guess. I don't know. She's the OG. Kim Kardashian owes her fucking fat royalty checks because she would not have had the blueprint if it weren't for Paris Hilton leading the way. You know who I really hate are the people that, like, followed the fuck out of them and made them famous. Like, anyway, rant over. I saw somewhere Floyd Mayweather challenged Kobe Bryant to a game of one-on-one for $1 million. What the fuck is he thinking? Like, was he for real? That's my first question. Was he for real? Was it for charity? I don't think it was for charity. I think he just thinks he's that good. Kobe Bryant's one of the best of all time and is probably one of the most competitive people, behind Michael Jordan being the most competitive. I don't think that Floyd Mayweather could beat Kobe Bryant in a game of one-on-one ever. Kobe Bryant could probably play left-handed and 100 times out of 100 would beat him. No hating on Floyd Mayweather. He's a tremendous athlete, and he's really good at beating the shit out of ladies. But I just know your role. Stay in your lane, bro. Unless it's just a big marketing gimmick to somehow make a pay-per-view out of it, like make it like a 1-on-1 to 21 or something, and make a pay-per-view to where the pay-per-view will pay the $1 million, and then also he'll just get the promotion fees. So yeah, I could see it happening for that, but it's just stay in your lane, bro. When I made my notes, it was very shortly after Christmas, and I had watched the Cavs-Warriors game. We're going to reflect on that for just a brief moment, because let me tell you what, I watched that game with my daughter, and it was a shitty fucking game. The end of that game was shitty if you're a Cavs fan. The refs were terrible. They were fucking terrible. No calls 2 or 3 times on Kevin Durant against LeBron James, implying that Kevin Durant fouled. And then the NBA came back after the fact with their last 2-minute report that they started issuing, And they said that the refs missed fouls on Kevin Durant. 2 fouls on Kevin Durant. 1 foul that they didn't call on LeBron James. But the 2 fouls on Kevin Durant were shooting fouls. Whatever. It was dirty. Anne was pissed. Anne is my daughter, if you guys don't know. She was hilarious to the point where, like, I had stopped saying anything because once the refs got out of hand, I'm just sitting there frustrated, like, okay. Anne is like, this is ridiculous. God, those refs are terrible. Man, chip off the old block. But I was like, I had to stop her, and I was just like, I'm like, it's all right, baby. I'm like, it's just a game. I'm like, we can't get that upset about it. And she's like, yeah, but I'm mad. And I was like, it's all right. It was funny. The refs blew that game. Everybody knows it. Since then, Isaiah Thomas made his debut for the Cavs. Had like 17 points in 18 minutes in his first game. He's gonna ball out, I think. That'll be fun to watch. The last thing in my notes talked about validation for some of my content. So I felt validated because multiple podcasts that I listened to, actually, after a couple of my previous episodes, had basically went on and made fun of the same content. It's just funny because I was like, good, I picked good shit to talk about. Yeah, it's easy because you get the trending shit. I get it. But Chris D'Elia went on the rant about fucking Ocean's 8. And if you want to hear it, go find it's the Congratulations podcast. And it's Chris D'Elia's podcast. And he rants hard about Ocean's 8, just like I did. It was funny. Made me feel good about my choice. Some other shit that's been going on. What's been going on in the news? Probably a lot of you have no idea who this fucking kid is, but there's this kid named Logan Paul. He's some fucking famous YouTube kid, and he posted a video. He was going hiking in the Suicide Forest at the bottom of, I think it's at the bottom of Mount Fuji. It's a forest. It's famous in Japan. A bunch of people go there to kill themselves. He was going there to do a vlog to assess the spirituality of the forest, yada yada. While they were there, they happened upon a guy who hung himself. Whatever, he posted it. He was sincere in his shock and dismay, but at the same time, like I think he tried to cope by, there was some moments where like he poked fun at the situation, not at the guy. Some people were saying he was being disrespectful to the dude. Man, what are you gonna do? Like, you're filming a vlog. You're famous from YouTube for being famous somehow. I don't fucking know. But like, one of the most unbelievable things happens, and you just you stumble upon it. People hated on him so bad. He apologized twice, I think. He removed the video. I read somewhere yesterday, I didn't read the whole story, I just saw the headline, but I think YouTube is like gonna punish him somehow. I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? You're gonna punish a kid. And he took it down and apologized. So, I mean, censorship, anyone? Speaking of censorship, I also saw something else, that some Twitter employees got in trouble for, they were caught on video or recorded on audio. I don't remember, but they basically said that they enforce their own censorship. Like, they will delete tweets or downvote tweets or some shit that don't meet their agendas. Twitter came out, I think, and said that that was selective, and that was those employees doing that, and not Twitter, enforcing that kind of censorship. So, yeah, censorship is real, guys. It happens. Social media is bullshit anyway. People who take that as like the word, like the ultimate word, it sucks. Sucks to be you. Mainstream media is pretty biased too, if you guys didn't know that already. I will listen to things on mainstream media and then ask the other questions that they don't address or that they try to sweep to the side and form my own opinion. And listen to both sides because they're both full of shit and you can glean some actual truths in there somewhere, but you just can't buy everything they say hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, there was like a $1 billion worth of lottery winnings in the last 2 weeks. 400. What the fuck? The dude who won the $451 million Mega Millions is a 20-year-old kid. Man, good for him. 20 fucking years old and basically just got his life handed to him. Florida monkeys could pass killer herpes to people. I mean, if you're putting your genitals or your mouth near some fucking monkeys, maybe you deserve to get killer herpes. Then we'll have less sick people like you around. How are you going to get fucking killer herpes from a monkey? You going to let them suck your dick? Or are you going to put your mouth on theirs or on their dick or genitals? Just trying to figure that one out, guys. You gonna drink after them? I don't know many people that drink after monkeys. Just saying. The news is disappointing me today, guys. There's not a whole lot going on with it. Add another person to the sexual harassment list. James Franco is being accused. James Franco, guys. I don't know whether... It sucks that I feel this way, but it's like... The later it gets, it's like, okay, are you just trying to pile on and get attention, or do you have a vendetta against him? Just it's unfortunate. Lindsay Lohan is designing her own island in Dubai called Lohan Island. What the fuck? Lindsay Lohan has island money? I wonder how much she got paid for showing her tits and shit in Playboy. Like, couldn't have been that much. Lohan Island. What the fuck? What the fuck? John Wick TV series in the work at Stars. How do you make a TV series out of that? I mean, the movie, the first one was really good. The guy steals his car, kills his dog. He goes apeshit, kills everybody. Should be end of story, right? They stretched it really hard making the second one, bringing in some guy who just wants his debt repaid since John Wick decided to kill a bunch of people again. Don't fuck it up and make a TV show out of it. And especially Keanu Reeves, don't fuck it up, Keanu. Like, you were badass in the first one. That's a bummer. Eric Clapton admitted that he's losing his hearing and he suffers from tinnitus. I mean, I would imagine, given all the years that he's been playing guitar and probably wearing ear monitors, I'm going to have to reread that. Anyway, I imagine all the years that he's been doing that it probably caused some hearing damage. It sucks, though. I couldn't imagine, losing my hearing. I jokingly say that I hear so well almost to my detriment because I can't not hear things, especially once I've heard them. Like, there could be the slightest like drip in the gutter outside of my house, outside my window here. I guarantee you, like, if the furnace is running or the TV is even on, 9 out of 10 people wouldn't hear that. I'm that 1 out of 10 that I hear it, and not only do I hear it, I can't unhear it. So it drives me nuts sometimes, but I hear it very well. And I love music, and so I couldn't imagine like losing my hearing or it starting to go away. That would be so frustrating. I feel for those people. Luckily, they do have really incredible hearing aids and stuff now, though, when sound amplification, that it can be sort of accounted for, but I think that does even more damage to your hearing because it has to do with the little hairs on your ear, not on your eardrum, but inside of there, how those hairs receive sound waves and whatnot. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't have much else to talk about. I'm gonna check out my Ripple, see how that's doing. Fingers crossed we're at $10 sometimes this next year. I would love a 4 times return on my money. It'd be all right with me. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming back, checking me out. Sorry for the absence. I'll do better to be better. Thanks, though, everybody, for checking out the Sodi Podcast. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, Podbean. Podbean, you got to search for George Oliver. Everything else, I think you can search for the S.O.T.I. podcast or the Shit on the Internet podcast. Take your pick. But thanks for coming back, guys. We're going to leave you with some motivational music today. It's one of my favorite songs.
What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying? Stop looking at what you ain't got. Start being thankful for what you do got. Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey.
That's right. And then you see they're gonna go far, 'cause everyone knows who you are. So live your life. You steady chasing that paper, just live your life. Ain't got no time for no haters, just live your life. Don't tell them where it'll take ya, just live your life. 'Cause I'm a paper chaser, just live my life. My life, my life, my life, just living my life. My life, my life, my life, just living my life.
Never mind what haters say, ignore them till they fade away. Amazing they ungrateful after all the game I gave away. Safe to say I paved the way for you cats to get paid today. Still be wasting days away now had I never saved the day. Consider them my protege. How much I think they should pay? Instead of being gracious, they violate in a major way. I never been a hater, still I love them in a crazy way. Some say they sold the yeah, you know they couldn't get work on Labor Day. It ain't that black and white, it has an area that's shaded gray. I'm west side anyway, even if I left today it stayed away. Some move away to make a way, not move away cause they afraid. I brought back to the hood, and all you ever did was take away. I pray for patience, but they make me wanna melt they face away.